Hi viewers, you're welcome to Koya Livestock Farm. If you're new to this channel, please like, subscribe, and share.
In this episode, we're going to share information about how to manage reproduction in goats. Topics for discussion will include seasonality, length of the breeding season, puberty in goats, and estrus cycle. Seasonality. Goats are polyestrous in the tropical climates or countries near the equator. Example, countries in African countries, India, Pakistan, Southeastern Asia. Meaning goats cycle or come on heat all year round. Polyestrous means they come on heat all year round. Goats are also seasonally polyestrous in the northern and the southern hemispheres, i.e., the Northern American continent, Southern American continent, European continent, and the Australian continent. Meaning goats in these areas come on heat seasonally in the cold climatic conditions. They come on heat seasonally as compared to the tropical countries or countries near the equator where they come on heat all year round. In the northern hemisphere, they breed mostly in September, October, November, December. And countries in the southern hemisphere, they breed mostly in March, April, May, and June. Length of the breeding season. The length of a breeding season is most influenced by the breed, the type of goat, the location or where the goat is located, photo period, and nutrition. Breeds, the factor of breed. Goat breeds like the Nubian goat, the Kiko, the Boa, Savannah, and Kalahari are all long-time breeders. They breed all year round, even though some may find themselves in the temperate or cold countries, but as a breed, they still cycle all year round. Majority of sheep breeds, dairy goat breeds, and goats like the Spanish goat and the Tennessee stiff-legged goats are short day breeders. They breed according to the season. Location as a factor. In the temperate regions or cold regions, as I've mentioned earlier, the natural breeding season is mostly restricted to winter and fall to allow for kidding in the spring and summer. Fall is a period between winter and summer. That is in the temperate regions where natural resources are adequate. Under the tropical and subtropical conditions, like in Africa or the hot countries, where temperatures and photoperiods are less variable, an extended breeding period can be seen in certain breeds. if appropriate resources are available to allow for calving all year round. Photo period as a factor. Photo period implies the interval in a 24-hour period during which a plant or an animal is exposed to light. In the temperate or cold climates, as the day length decreases, that is shorter days, this daylight, the hormones are not released. But if they are exposed to darkness, longer darkness, that is where the hormones are released. The hormones that controls reproduction is regulated from the pineal gland, which is in the brain. So as they are exposed to longer nights, that is where they come on heat. But if they are exposed to longer days, they don't breed. That is why we are saying that they are seasonally polyestrous in the temperate regions. They breed according to season. I hope I'm clear here. Nutrition as a factor. Nutrition plays a significant role in animal reproduction, and there is always positive correlation between the two. The influence of nutrition in young animals affects the age at which they reach puberty. So therefore, increased calories, protein, iron, zinc, and folate needs have to be provided during this critical period of rapid growth. Our next point is puberty. Puberty refers to the period during which adolescents reach sexual maturity and become capable of reproduction. The puberty in both buckling or the young male goat, that's the buckling, that has not given birth, and dulling, that's the female buck, that has not given birth, is controlled by sexual hormones. And these hormones, with the male goat, is called testosterone, and the female goat is called estrogen. These hormones cause physiological and behavior changes in both sexes, leading up to puberty. The onset of puberty in goats typically occurs at 5 to 8 months of age in does, that is the female goats, female young goats, and 4 to 6 months in bucks, that's the male young goat. Age at the onset of every goat to get into puberty. It varies between breeds. Some breeds vary. Some breeds of goats go into puberty early. Some too might not go into puberty early, so it depends on the breed. And it's influenced by environmental factors such as season of birth, the breeds, and then the nutrition. Factors affecting puberty. The age of the goat affects puberty. If the goat doesn't reach the age between 5 to 8 months, or if it is the buck, between 4 to 6 months, it might not go into puberty. Nutrition. Where they are giving appropriate food, they receive appropriate nutritious food, it increases or stimulates the body growth for them to attain sexual maturity at early age. They also go into puberty according to their body weight. They need to attain certain body weight. Goats normally between 60 to 75% of their body weight before they go into puberty. Another factor leading to affecting puberty is management. Depends on the way you manage the animal. At a certain age, if they are exposed to males, the male or the female is exposed to male at a certain age, that can also induce them into going into puberty. I've mentioned of the breed area. Diseases, if the goat is a sick goat or is attacked by a certain disease, it can delay it by developing into puberty stage. They also attain puberty under certain seasons. As I've mentioned, in the temperate climates where longer nights allow them for breeding. So if they are bred at the appropriate season, then the kids will also grow early on time to attain the age at puberty. The length of an estrous cycle, that period of goats, is between 19 to 23 days. Between 19 to 23 days, depend on the breed of goats. Averagely 21 days. Every 21 days, they'll come and eat. Or every between 19 to 23 days, within this time period, a goat comes on heat. And if they should come on heat, that estrous cycle, it lasts, the estrous period, it lasts between 12 to 36 hours. 19 to 23 days, they come on heat. And within these 23 days, if they come on heat, the heat lasts between 12 to 36 hours. Averagely 24 hours. Darling, or let's look at signs of estrous cycle. How do you determine if the goat is on heat or it has reached that stage? The goat will start to exhibit homosexual activity. That is, the female goat, which is on heat, will begin to mount another female. If there is another female goat, you will try to mount it. That is homosexual activity. Decrease in milk yield. If it is a goat that has been lactating or milking the children, you see that the milk yield will decrease. You can see from the udder that the amount of milk that used to come out from the udder decreases. It also exhibits clear mucus become cloudy. It exhibits clear mucus becoming cloudy. Normally, mucus is a discharge from the vulva or the vagina. You can see that there is a little bit watery discharge. This is as that discharge of watery or mucus coming out, it becomes cloudy. Instead of light mucus, it becomes thicker. You can also see personality changes in the goat. Personality of the goat changes. Methods of detection of estrus. How do you also detect estrus? We can detect if our goats are on heat by introducing a male teaser. We will just introduce a male to tease it, but you not allow the mate to mate it, the male to mate it. There, quickly it will get to the mate, the male, and then lock up. Then quickly you get to know that yes, with introduction of the mate, the female will be chasing the mate, the male. The female will be chasing the male. This will enable you to know that no, this goat is on heat. Fence wall exposure. We can also determine by placing goats in a fence nearer to the females. By this, the females will always go near to the fence wall, but they will not get access to the males and then just lock up. It's a sign that, yes, my female goat is on heat. Another method is bog jar. Here, you rub a rag on the buck's head. You just take an ordinary rag, rub it on the head of a male goat or buck. Put the rag in a jar and offer it to the female goat once a day. You rub the rag, put it in a jar, be exposing it to the female at least once every day. There you see that the goat will just always go near where the rag is and lock up. Another method of determining estrus is buck bear hang on the pen during transition or early in the breeding season. You cut the beard of the male goat and hang it. You hang the beard, cut the bird, hang it. You see that the males will always go to where the beard is and then lock up there. It will give you a clear indication that yes, my female goats are showing signs of estrus. They are on heat. Another method is by introducing a teasing apron. There is an apron that is sewn, and then place it on the female or the male, a male, such that the apron will block in an attempt to cross the female, and it releases semen. It cannot enter the female. Here the female will just be rushing to the male, wanting the male to cross it. We also have the marking harness. Marking harness is a device or is a material that is hanged on the back. And this material has got certain paint or ink. As the buck attempts to mount the female, these paints will draw markings on the female. This will let you to know that yes, the males have started attempting to cross your female. Apron or the marking harness, goat marking harness, is a way for producers to tell if goats or cattle have been mated. It leaves obvious mark on the door or the female goat. All colors will show on maybe a boar goat because the color, the skin of the goat is always white. So all colors will show, on example, goats like the boar goats. For dairy goats or pygmy goats or other goats that don't have uniform color, choose color that will show up on their coats. Ovulation. Ovulation is a phase in the estrous cycle when an ovary releases an egg or ovule. Once an egg leaves the ovary, it travels down the fallopian tube where it waits to be fertilized by a sperm. The period of ovulation is always towards the end of every estrous cycle, which is between 24 to 36 hours after the onset. Some animals go into twin ovulation. And when this happens, it takes place within 7 hours apart. If the goat should ovulate, it doesn't just happen, the twin doesn't just happen at once. It will first ovulate, and maybe 7 hours apart, the other egg will also ovulate. Breeding close to ovulation increases conception rate. How do we improve ovulation rate? Ovulation rate is improved by flushing. Viewers, here comes to the end of our episode. We have discussed about seasonality. We've also talked about the length of every breeding season and factors that influence in the breeding season. We've talked about puberty, and then we've also talked about estrous cycle in goats. I hope we will find it useful so that we will apply all this knowledge to improve on our farms. Thank you very much for your attention.